Stock sector recently caught up with Glenn Moro, the Executive VP of Marketing at NovaBay Pharmaceuticals. NovaBay is presenting at the AAO, the American Academy of Ophthalmology, November 14th through the 17th at the Venetian in Las Vegas. NovaBay focuses on the development and commercialization of topical, non-antibiotic, anti-infective products, and Glenn has had 25 years being a leader in the ophthalmology space. Glenn, how are you this morning?
How you doing today, Stephen?
Great.
Great.
Glenn, it looks like your sales of Avenova are increasing. Can you tell me more about that, please, and what the actual numbers are?
Absolutely. I mean, we are in growth mode. As you know, this is the launch year of the product. We had our biggest quarter ever. Our third quarter sales were $1.1 million. And again, this was the first quarter we've actually exceeded $1 million in sales.
So how much have third quarter numbers increased over the previous quarters?
Good question. The third quarter was approximately a 30% increase, about a 40% increase over the second quarter, and the second quarter was approximately a 70% increase over the first quarter. So we're showing nice trend. We're very excited about that. Just as a little tidbit, the first month of the fourth quarter is about 50% higher than the first month of the third quarter. So we're going to show that good trend.
What's driving these increases and who's actually buying? Is it optometrists, ophthalmologists, pharmacies?
There's actually two parts to our business. Again, we call on both optometrists and ophthalmologists. They are the eye care specialists in the country. Okay, we sell directly to doctors who sell on to their patients. And that takes place primarily with optometrists. The other side of our business is the prescription business, where doctors write prescriptions and these are filled at pharmacy. So these are the two channels that we concentrate on currently.
So can you tell me about those specific markets and what the trends are right now?
Absolutely. If you take a look at our we call it buy and build. This is where doctors buy Avenova and sell it to their patients. This has been growing at about 8% per month and increasing. At the same time, our prescription volume or our prescription growth has been increasing about 10% per month. In fact, as of this month, we're averaging about 6,500 prescriptions per month.
That's great. Where do you expect further growth and why?
We're really excited about the prescription business. The prescription business, we believe the prescription business will be the majority of Avenova business in the foreseeable future. And again, it takes a little longer to build prescriptions from a zero base. Just as an example, back in January, we were only selling a couple hundred prescriptions per month, as opposed to now we're up to 6,500 per month. So that's been ramping up very, very nicely. And we expect that continued growth. As you know, doctors are more comfortable writing prescriptions for their patients.
So that being the case, one of the most important numbers is repeat customers, correct?
Very important for us because Avenova, as you know, is used for chronic conditions. So one would think that you would get a lot of repeat business. And we measure this in two ways. As you know, we sell product to doctors who sell it on to their patients, As of September, 57% of our orders for these doctors have been repeat business or reorders. So that's a very good sign. At the same time, as of September, 33% of the prescriptions written were refills. Now, keep in mind, we're still growing our base. We're still getting around to all the doctors. So to have a refill rate like that at this point is a very, very promising sign.
As far as doctors and patients, are you getting any feedback on what they're saying about how Avenova works for them?
Absolutely. I think I can sum this up in one simple statement. You know, I've been in this segment for 25 years, as you alluded to. This has been the best accepted product I have ever worked with by both doctors and patients.
That's great. So what's your sales team doing to convey the benefits of the product?
Well, in addition to the daily activities of our reps with their doctors, you know, today we have 45 representatives around the country speaking directly to optometrists and ophthalmologists. We have held over 80 dinner lectures, doctor to doctor, talking about Avenova across the country, as well as major events at every major ophthalmology and optometric meeting. At the same time, we have begun working closely with the largest group of ophthalmologists That's Alpheon. That's an independent buying group for ophthalmologists. We are now available on their network to their doctors. And we also work with a group called Vision Source, which is a group of the largest independent optometrists in the country, and our product is available to their members. So this is just a flavor of some of the things we've been doing, in addition to our field team activity with doctors face-to-face.
So Glenn, moving forward, what are the challenges you will face further expanding sales? Are some doctors still skeptical?
You know, skepticism is very, very low. In fact, this is the kind of product, if once we get a trial, skepticism goes away, because it has truly worked very well for patients and really had a profound impact on a lot of these patients' lives, where previously other things they had used for their conditions really didn't help. So our job is to really get the word out and ramp up our communications with doctors to get doctors to try it, get doctors to prescribe it as quickly as possible. That's our major challenge.
Now in this space, you must have competitors. Who are they and why are they important?
Well, there are other products on the market that attempt to compete with Avenova, but only Avenova has Neutrox, which is pure hypochlorous acid. All the other products that compete with Avenova are a combination of hypochlorous acid and sodium hypochlorite. You know that better as Clorox, it's bleach. Now, these products with the bleach components, not only are they not as active antimicrobially as Avenova, some of these products are also cytotoxic. So in effect, there's really no one product that competes directly with Avenova, because there's only Avenova can offer pure hypochlorous acid, or as we call it, Neutrox.
Glenn, how much further growth does NovaBay need to become profitable? And when will that happen?
Well, you know, profitability will be a combination of continued growth and price. As you know, we have a high margin product as it is. And we believe that Avenova is in a unique position, not only to continue to grow in units, but to also to grow in price per unit. So while it's premature to give an exact date of profitability for NovaBay, it's safe to say that 2016 will show a significant increase in financial sales over 2015.
Glenn, let's talk about blepharitis and what that means for a little bit. What's your view for the ultimate potential for Avenova? And what's your target market? How big is that market?
Sure. Yeah, let me describe the disease state, and I think it'll give you a better understanding of the opportunity for Avenova. As you know, we target lid disease. And lid disease is really broken into, you can look at it in two parts. One is blepharitis, which is literally inflammation of the lids. Now, the other part that we look at is a portion of dry eye, which is called meibomian gland dysfunction. And the meibomian glands secrete an important oil to keep the tear film intact. And the meibomian glands are affected when there's inflammation in the eyelids. So they're very closely aligned. Now, everybody suffers from some form of blepharitis, particularly as they age, some more severe than others. So to look at a target for Avenova, we estimate there are about 24 million people in this country who suffer from severe to moderate blepharitis. And they would definitely do better if they were on Avenova. The other part of that, we feel there are another 6 million patients who suffer from what we call the meibomian gland dysfunction dry eye, who would also benefit from being on Avenova. So in reality, there are probably about 30 million patients that would benefit from being on Avenova.
Now, what percentage of that market do you think you'll be able to reach?
Well, you know, our introduction of Avenova has been very timely because there's been a big push in both optometry and ophthalmology to spread the word about lid disease. Doctors are more aware of lid disease and the consequences on their patients' vision than ever before. So as this has been growing in both of the professions, Avenova has been the product that answers a lot of the problems. So a lot of our efforts are based not only on selling Avenova, but making the doctor and the professions aware of lid disease and consequently how Avenova can help them in the management of those problems.
That's great. Glenn, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. We're going to keep an eye on your company and we wish you the best.
Very good, Steve. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me this morning, and we're really excited about the future for Avenova.
Thank you.